What cuisine do you find highly overrated? What hurts more than a breakup? To all those who grew up in the 1990s, what was life like? Get home from school, lie and say I had no homework, go ride bikes or hang out in the treehouse with neighborhood kids until it got dark, go home, eat dinner, watch cartoons or play video games, lay in bed with anxiety because I didn't do my homework, rinse and repeat. While I was born in the 90s, I mostly grew up in the early 2000s, and yeah, that sounds pretty similar. It's hard for me to separate what was just rose-colored due to childhood or real. The world just felt safe. Technology seemed to be making things better and better, and it's also weird to think that most people were not reachable at all times. Cell phones were just catching on, and even if you had one, you saved your minutes for emergencies or waited for nights/weekends. Definitely the best thing to come out of the future is that we don't really pay for minutes anymore on phones. Because, I mean, there are still some companies that do it, and it's like, come on, Grandpa, grow up. Staying out playing in the front yard until dark. Yes, the cliche was true. We played Jurassic Park a lot and made up dances to the Spice Girls. My personal favorite was Ghost in the Graveyard, but it sounds like that may be a regional thing. Colorful, unashamedly campy, and everything basically had that "you're lame parents trying to impress your friends" vibe, and it worked. I was born in '87, but I grew up in the 90s. I missed that decade immensely. It was so laid back and carefree as a child. Everything now takes itself so seriously. It's depressing. I do agree with that. Now a lot of things are really focused on like, this is why things are bad, and it's kind of hard to keep up, you know? Pretty cool. Internet was fresh and exciting. Video games were this really cool interactive medium that was seeing rapid development. 3D animation became a thing and had some really creative TV shows like Reboot. Chumbawamba made us all feel like nothing could keep us down. The Simpsons were a comedy powerhouse. Pokemon became an international craze and kids were obsessive about it. I mean, hey, not just back then, Pokemon is still huge now. When the commercial came on, you ran to the bathroom. Then your sibling yelled, "It's back on!" and you ran back to the couch. That is another great invention we had of just like generally being able to pause TV on your own time. For the life of me, I cannot remember. It's okay, we've been through a lot in the past decade. It makes sense you don't remember things. No one has any evidence whatsoever of the dumb stuff I did. There isn't a trace. No one who grew up after Gen X ever had the slightest understanding of what it means to have the expectation of privacy. Digital footprints are a little scary now. Anything you've done could be out there. Very optimistic. People assume the internet would allow us to do anything. I mean, they weren't wrong. I mean, you can buy anything on the internet. You can look for anything on the internet. You can really do anything. What is the most overrated movie ever? That one movie that you really like. Hey, I really like that movie. This was made because of Avatar, wasn't it? While Avatar is a little overrated on the technical side of how they made the movie, it is insane. Story-wise, yeah. Frozen. It is not a horrible movie, but it is not the best Disney movie. Let It Go. I get it, because the movie has the song called I see you. Any Fast and Furious, not Tokyo Drift. Yeah, I think the last one I saw was maybe Fast 5, and I was like, wow, yeah, they drive cars, cool. I know everyone's gonna come at me for this, but The Greatest Showman. It's okay, but it's definitely not anything amazing. When I first saw it, I really liked it, because the music was really nice, but when you look into more about P.T. Barnum, you realize, yeah, that's not how he was. The Revenant. 2 hours of Leo crawling. Yeah, that's Oscar worthy. Gonna have to disagree on this one. It was very good in my opinion. Toy Story 4. It's a terrible insult to the original trilogy. I still haven't seen Toy Story 4 because I thought the third movie's ending was a perfect way to end it, but I guess not. They just needed more money. Elf. Best Christmas movie, My Left Cheek. I will say it gets a little obnoxious at some parts, but it's still fun. It may not be the best, but it's alright. Transformers was horrible. It got hyped because Megan Fox is hot and people were nostalgic for Transformers. Okay, what kind of circles are you in where people are constantly talking about the Transformers movie being really good? Like, I've never heard that. All of the Fast and Furious movies, LOL. I will give them points though. They are so ridiculous, it is hilarious. Sometimes that's the best kind of movie. Every Marvel movie. I don't get the hype. I understand your point, but I mean, mean, do you just not like superheroes at all? Like, you can find one of them that you'll like, I'm sure. Don't Look Up. Some of my fave actors, too. I never really bothered watching it because I was like, oh, meteor movie? Whatever. Love Actually. Almost every character is terrible. Incredible cast, terrible characters. What are some famous cases of ironic deaths? Gary Hoy fell 24 stories to his death after he threw himself into some safety windows to demonstrate that the glass was unbreakable. As it happens, the glass was indeed unbreakable. The window frames, however? I don't know if this is ironic, coincidental, or even famous, but I remember reading something about how a South African astronomer gave a lecture saying that death can come at any time, and then died from choking on a mint immediately after delivering the lecture. Well, he did warn people. Bobby Leach was a stunt performer and was the second person to go over Niagara Falls, height of about 170 feet, and survive. Later in life, he slipped and fell less than 5 feet and broke his leg, which got infected and he died. Probably not the way he expected to go out. In the 1970s, a chap called Jim Fixx wrote a book that kicked off a jogging craze. He died of a heart attack while out jogging. You see, that's just what you get for trying to trick me into running. James Sakura, a pastor from Zambia, thought that he'll be able to resurrect just like Jesus Christ did. He asked to be buried alive, with the intention that he'll come back to life 3 days later. It seems his plan wasn't as airtight as he thought. One dude drowned at lifeguards party thrown to celebrate year with 0 drownings. What hits harder at 40 than at 30? Going to the doctor for a routine checkup and being told that your blood tests indicate some health concerns that will need to be closely monitored. Finding out you're older the prime minister for the first time. That hurts. Random chest pains. Every little pain I get now, I just look up and say out loud, Lord, is it my time? Your parents becoming old people. Well, they've been old people most of your life, so now they're just becoming older people. Time by Pink Floyd. Finding friends/romantic partners who don't have children. Standing up quickly. Yeah, but if you have an iron deficiency, you already know all about that. Which celebrities look like they smell bad? Bam Margera. When I met him, he just reeked of alcohol, like he bathed in whiskey. Harvey Weinstein, but he actually smells really bad according to reports, like rotten flesh, poopish. Is he literally an ogre? No Neck Ed. Probably smells like mayonnaise. Yeah, when I look at that dude, I don't imagine good things. I've been in the same room with Cara Delevingne. BO and cigarettes. Oh, yikes, honey, come on. Jared Leto looks like he uses his own sweat as cologne. He just tells his cult to wash his for him. It is crazy that he just has a cult. Like, nobody's really making a big deal out of it, it seems. Kid Rock. He looks like he smells like he just smoked McDonald's. Weirdly, that makes a lot of sense. Brad Pitt is known for not showering often. Russell Brand looks like he stinks, but I can vouch the man smells incredible. Russell Brand looks like the human equivalent of a $500 pre-stained plain white t-shirt. At the surface, he looks like he stinks, but once you take a second look, you realize everything is perfectly out of place. That weightlifter dude who only eats liver and steroids, 100% Post Malone. People wish he was Post Cologne. Add that to the rare insults list. Shia stinks for sure. Are we talking about LaBeouf, the beef man? Not so much of a celebrity, but Shane Dawson. I just know he smells like stale Cheetos. Every day I live in fear that I'll run into him now that he's in Colorado. If you could make one thing illegal, what would it be? Those pop-up ads on websites that make the X in the corner so tiny that you end up clicking on the ad anyway. That or ads that purposely put a fake X in the video just so you click the ad anyway. All telemarketing and spam. I don't know what it is, but for the past month, I've been getting so many spam calls. I don't know why, I don't know how, I want it to stop. Lobbying and all of the legal insider trading of politicians. I mean, it is illegal, but it's only illegal if you call it bribing. Those fucking headlights. If we're talking about LED headlights, then yes, I agree, because my god, I cannot see. MLMs. Sorry, boss babes. You don't have to be sorry, they're scamming people, it's okay. Child influencers. I do think it's really scummy because most of the time it's just the parents controlling the child, making them perform like a dancing monkey. Clickbait articles. The ones where you go through page after page of deliberately prolonged text and ads to get to the bit you want to read. Parents using their kids to gain internet clout on any platform. Part of me can't wait for the first landmark case of prior screaming toddler versus narcissistic mom. Private-owned prisons. I never really thought about it, but yeah, those do exist, and oh my god, that sounds evil. Providing false information or misleading charts on news channels. You see, if they did that, then they'd have to actually report on real things, and they don't want to do that. What's considered basic knowledge that many people don't know? It is very easy to not block the whole aisle with your cart at the grocery store. It's just like road rules, people. You keep to the right or you keep to the left, depending on how you drive. Where their water shutoff is in their house. I mean, I live in an apartment. I don't know where that would be if I am able to do that. How to use there, and there. To those of you only listening to the video, they use the same there 3 times. Antibiotics don't work on viruses. They only work on biotics. What are biotics? I don't know, but they're in there. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it is automatically healthy. Just because it is artificial or synthetic doesn't mean it is automatically bad for you. Each time you make a credit card purchase, you are taking out a short-term, high-interest loan which will accrue interest if you don't pay it off by the end of the month. Whoa, careful, the credit card companies might hear you. Just because you can, that doesn't mean you should. But what if I wanna? How long it takes a semi-truck to stop? I don't know if that's basic knowledge, but it is good to know, I suppose. Tax write-offs are not as good as not spending the money. I think way too many people get their financial advice from cartoons. Well, how else are we supposed to get it? They don't teach it in school. The essential in essential oils does not mean essential for human health. Everything is chemical. I mean, yeah, everything's made up of chemicals, I guess. What was your first thought after you woke up today? I don't really have many thoughts when I wake up, so I'm no good for this question. What time is it? That is a normal response, I suppose. Why the F did my body wake itself up at 5:30? WTF, mine did the exact same thing. I think our bodies know something we don't. FML, I don't want to work today. Here's a little life hack. Don't go to work. No, you should. Why people in this house love to yell. It's always early in the morning, too. Like, come on, be considerate. Darn it, I forgot to switch the laundry. Look, it happens to the best of us. I want to sleep. Me and you both, sister. Me and you both. How will I be able to pee with this boner? Clench your butt and flex your arms and legs as hard as you can, redirecting the blood that's causing the boner. Where was this info when I was 12? Are farts haptic feedback? Craptic feedback. You know, you're not wrong. What an annoying cat. Every morning I wake up to him sitting on my chest and requesting breakfast. Hey, at least it patiently sits there, unlike my roommate's cat that screams and cries and throws itself at walls until it gets what it wants. Same every morning. I gotta pee. In 40 years, what will people be nostalgic for? Back in my day, a loaf of bread only cost $3. Where do you live that bread is $3? Not in America, that's for sure. Privacy. I mean, maybe, but I mean, we're figuring out how to keep ourselves private. Being able to use water whenever or however much they wanted to. Life before AI. I suppose I see it, but I mean, in 40 years, I don't think we're gonna have like AIs controlling things, okay? When money was paper. Isn't money like cotton or something? It's not even really paper now. Songbirds. Silent Spring was a few decades early. Physical keys and credit cards. Approaching someone you like in real life. What do people think the future is gonna look like in 40 years? Stable weather patterns. I'm already nostalgic for them. Yeah, here living in Colorado, the weather changes every 15 minutes, so I don't know. Wildlife/animals. Maybe I'm just weird, but I don't think wildlife and animals are just gonna disappear in the next 40 years. Well, since I'm 55 now, I'll probably be nostalgic for being alive. Hey, you know, that's fair enough. Which celebrity were you happiest to see fall from favor? Prince Andrew. I mean, has he really fallen that much? Freak should be in jail or something. Dr. Oz. I've had enough of that snake oil salesman. Dr. Phil. I want to brine my brain in bleach for liking him at some point in the past. A little extreme, but I guess I understand. Ellen DeGeneres. There always was something I didn't like about her. She came off so phony to me. That cat, bass, James Corden. Ezra Miller. Damn, I always found something weird with this guy. Seeing all of his fan club leaving him was good. R. Kelly. Aren't they in prison now? I don't remember. Salt Bae. His antics at the World Cup were so cringeworthy that it turned literally every Argentina fan, as well as many casual/neutrals, against him. More a YouTube celeb, but Shane Dawson. I had come across him like a decade ago and watched some of his channel out of morbid curiosity and thought he was a strange kind of messed up dude. I was kind of shocked to see a few years later that he'd become huge on the platform. Like, with his audience at that size, didn't anyone look into him and realize he was a nutcase? Well, it took a few years again, but it happened. It's slowly happening here in Ireland, but can't wait to see Conor McGregor go down internationally. What's the scariest thing that has ever happened to you during broad daylight? I was out back at work smoking a cigarette, and this spray-painted van rolled up right next to me asking if we were gonna use some paint cans left over from the remodel. When he rolled down his window, I saw that he too was completely covered in spray paint. I told him I didn't know if he could take them, and I started walking away, and the dude in the van followed right next to me with his door open talking to me, and I freaked out and effing ran. Not today, Painty McSnatch van. Crazy guy tried to kill me in the pool. Didn't even notice him. He snuck up and pounced. I didn't go to a public pool since. I once was at a bus station in the morning waiting for the bus that would take me to the university. I was looking straight ahead when I felt a huge pain in my ear. I turned around and realized a guy had just punched me on the ear. I looked at him and the look in his eyes was terrifying. He was like on drugs or something. Never met the guy. I screamed, "What the F?" And then something unrealistic happened. A bus pulled over, not mine, and the driver, who must have witnessed the scene, hopped off, told the guy, "You don't hit girls," and jumped on him to fight. I was shocked. The bus I was supposed to take arrived and I ran inside. Well, you know, not all heroes wear capes. Some are bus drivers. I was literally surrounded by thousands of hammerhead sharks on a work dive offshore. Where did the sharks work? Offshore. Try to keep up. When I was probably around 7 or 8, I had an overwhelming fear of being kidnapped to the point where I'd duck down in the back seat of the car so that anyone passing us wouldn't see me. Yeah, I know. So one day, my brother and I rode with my mom to the bank to deposit some checks or whatever else she had to do. I was scared shirtless of somebody opening up the car door and grabbing me. This older dude pulls up next to us, gets out of his car, and proceeds to walk over to cup his hands on the window to look into the car. I about my pants. I mean, having your fears realized is kind of terrifying, so it's fair. I was taking a nap and I was having another sleep paralysis episode. Whoop-de-whoop, I get these all the time. But every time it happens, my eyes are closed. This time, my eyes were open and I see a Slender Man-type creature reaching for me across my bed frame. I started to control my breathing to get out of it, and I got out before it touched my face. Yeah, I sleep on my side now. A complete stranger, probably drunk, pulled a gun out at me at 8 a.m. in the morning, broad daylight, at a four-way intersection while I was stopped at a red light. What is a historical fact that seems unbelievable? In 1895, the entire state of Ohio had only 2 cars. Both cars managed to still smash into each other. As someone who lives in Ohio, this does not seem unbelievable. Egyptians once lost a battle because their enemies had cats on their shields. The last execution by guillotine was in the 70s, after the first Star Wars movie premiered. They must be connected. We live closer in time to T-Rex than T-Rex did to Stegosaurus. Dinosaurs were here forever. They still are. Ask the birds in the street. Albert Einstein turned down the presidency of Israel. LOL. Why did they even offer it to him? And how/why can someone even offer such a thing? In Israel, the prime minister has all the important legislative and tactical responsibility, while the president role is basically purely ceremonial. The rings of Saturn are younger than Stegosauruses. Stegosauruses roamed the Earth about 150 to 180 million years ago. Saturn's rings have only existed for about 100 million years. Karl Marx's great-great-grandson has a YouTube video of him doing parkour called !Marx. The descendant has a YouTube video of Karl Marx doing parkour? I wish. Elvis died from a heart attack on the toilet because he was straining too hard. Later, while autopsying him, the medical examiner discovered he had 10 kilograms or 22 pounds of poop in his system. Potatoes were not very popular as a food in France. Like, they were seen as fit only for animals. Not only that, but they were considered generally not digestible by humans. So a pharmacist named Parmentier knew they were good food and wanted to popularize them among the working class. So he got a 2-acre farm to grow potatoes and placed armed guards around it at all times. People assumed armed guards meant something very valuable was growing there, so they began to steal the potatoes. That's how potatoes became popular in France's working class. You can steal something small from someone to piss them off. What would you choose? 1 battery from every remote in their house. While I like the thought, you're kinda cheating because the rules was 1 thing, so you could only take it from 1 remote. The volume down button on their remote. Now you see, that's evil. I like that one. The book they are reading, just the last 3 pages. Again, the book is a good one. The 3 pages, you're still cheating. You have to take 1 thing, you have to take 1 page. Phone charger. If they are one of those people that only has one charger and refuses to buy another one, then yeah, you've screwed them. Keyring. Enjoy your loose pile of keys. Actually, this is the only good answer. One lens from their glasses or one eye contact. Calm down, Satan. I have one eye, so you have a 50-50 chance of me caring or not, LMAO. The O-ring from their taps. Drip, 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 drip. The labels off of all of their canned vegetables and soup. Toss in a couple cans of delabeled dog food. Look, I like the idea, but you're not following the rules. You're taking too many things. One sock from each pair. I only own black socks, all the same type. You have no power here. I would change their router password and lock them out. You're a diabolical madman. I went to a friend's party once and they were so rude and mean, so I took all the knobs off their kitchen cabinets. I still have them and will always be proud. Alright, so I guess we're just not following the rules anymore, and that was just an anecdote from your life. Come on, people! What are you doing this very moment? Well, I'm reading these out loud and making bad commentary about it, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. Relatable. At work, scrolling through Reddit. Me too! Well, let's just hope your boss doesn't see these. Peeing with one eye open, so as not to fully awaken. Trying to get my two cats to like each other. Oh no, unfortunately, they'll never like each other, sorry. Redoing all the rooms in my house to erase the last 20 years of marriage from my eyes and move on in a positive way. Well, good for you, I hope that's going well. Walking my fish, don't let him tire you out. Typing this. Eating chocolate. One piece turned into 8. That is how it goes, isn't it? Sitting on the corner of my couch, typing this out whilst questioning all of my life choices. Procrastinating. Yeah, that's me on a normal day. What is the uncoolest brand you can think of? Herbalife. Every pyramid scheme brand. Affliction. LMAO. 100% chance of catching these dudes yelling at their family in public. Tap out, or whatever that MMA crap is. Salt Bay. Is he actually noteworthy? Because I've only ever heard of him once, and that was when the meme came out. Meta. The way they're changing VR to be the lamest thing possible sucks so bad. Goop. Really no clue what Gwyneth Paltrow was thinking. Amway. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a European thing? Von Dutch and Ed Hardy. It was mind-boggling that they were the slightest bit popular at any point in history. Shine. Yeah, especially that whole slave labor thing. Don't get me wrong, I love nice clothes, but guys, try to think of the human cost of that thing you'll wear once, maybe twice, and give or throw away. I just watched the Pepsi Jet documentary thing on Netflix, and it made me realize how hard Pepsi has worked to come across as cool while intentionally doing very uncool things. So, Pepsi, what's stopping you from being with the person you love? I guess for me, I haven't met them yet, and I don't know what love is, so the feelings are not mutual. She wanted us to be open. I wanted us to be exclusive. I was deeply in love with her, and I really miss her. She's with someone else. Aren't they all? A cat is occupying the spot between us on the couch. I don't know why people let cats dictate what they can and can't do. Just pick the little guy up and throw him. I barely love myself most days. I'm not thinking of other people. Me. I am the problem. Me too, bud. At least you recognize it, I guess. Bad timing. But we always find one another. Hopefully we get together before I'm too old to enjoy it. Fear of rejection. I don't know if she's even willing to have any relationship at all. He turned out to be evil. Don't you just hate when that happens? She doesn't want to be with me. Part of it is her trauma. Part of it is my trauma. Our traumas don't play well together. Her instinct is to avoid intimacy. My instinct is to seek it out. She went outside and it's hella effing cold out there. She'll be back soon though. I don't have the confidence to ask her out as I fear rejection. Life's too short, bro. My physical appearance. He's told me time and time again that I have the most incredible personality and sense of humor. I make good money, have a good career, have a nice home, have everything but a pretty face. He's a character from a TV show. You know what? Understandable. I feel this. What? I know it sounds weird, but just try it. Thing do you swear by? If you are very anxious or having a panic attack, go to the bathroom and put some cold water on the back of your neck or face. If you're at home, you can also use an ice roller or some ice cubes. It's something I learned from DBT therapy, and I thought it seemed ridiculous until I tried it. Going upstairs on all fours. It feels natural. Close one eye while doing word search puzzles. I forgot which one works, but you find words 10 times faster. Also, the cross-eyed thing and the ones where you find differences between between pictures. Karaoke as a free practice and very low effort way to improve public speaking skills. Sounds dumb as heck, actually works. Costs almost zero. Mud baths. You lie in this tub full of hot, thick, volcanic sludge. You gotta scoop a bunch of it onto your chest too. It's heavy, it's hot, people bring you cold washcloths for your forehead so you don't overheat. When I got out to take a shower, they had a bench in there. I laughed until my legs gave out because they weren't used to being so relaxed. 15 out of 10, 35 stars. If you start feeling embarrassed by something from the past, say, nope, not today, in your head and let it go. Move on. It's okay to take some feelings out like trash. When I worked in restaurants, I knew I would be on my feet for long periods. I doubled up, wear 2 pairs of socks. A lot, but not all, of the fatigue you feel in your feet is due to the friction of them moving around in your shoes. By wearing an extra pair, the socks rub against each other, resulting in less fatigue. Potato chips inside a sandwich. It's simple, but it is nice. Float tanks. I don't know what these are, but yeah, for sure. Salt in coffee, in case it tastes too bitter. Only a pinch though. After a shower, towel dry like you always do, then grab a new towel and do it again. You'll be amazed how much better it feels to put on clothes when you're totally dry and not 2% moist. Look at Mr. Rich here who owns 2 towels. Look at Mr. Almost Rich here with 1 towel. Got something wrong with your skin? Buy a few aloe vera plants. Cut a leaf open and rub all the gel on your skin. Pimples on your arms? Aloe vera. Got burnt? Aloe vera. Dry skin? Aloe vera. It feels ridiculous rubbing a slimy plant on yourself, but lots of medical ointments contain it because it's proven to be good for the skin. Pepper on strawberries. Alternatively, balsamic vinegar on strawberries. I prefer my strawberries plain, thank you. I love how this just became a mostly recipe thread. Much more wholesome than I expected. Scotch pie in roll. I've read this 6 times. I don't know what this means. I can't decipher this. Pour some M&Ms in your bucket of buttered popcorn. Sweet, salty goodness. Grape jelly on a McDonald's sausage biscuit. It doesn't sound great, but I guess I can't knock it till I try it. What hurts more than a breakup? Death of a loved one that you were very close to. Watching your child suffer in pain and being helpless to do anything about it. Loving your spouse and knowing they don't love you. I don't know if this is just a straight thing, but like, why do people get married if they hate each other? Hating yourself hurts when you're all you got left. To be honest, as much as a breakup hurts, seeing them go into a relationship with somebody else while you still want them back hurts more than the pain of the actual breakup to me. 2 breakups. Polyamory is a great lifestyle choice for people who enjoy talking and breaking up. I tore my in urethra giving birth. Yeah, that's probably a winner, I'd say. I was gonna say being set on fire. I looked at the comments and I feel stupid. Sorry guys, I hope you get well soon. Your dog dying. The day my dog passes away is the day I do as well, so watch out. Friendship breakup. Losing a sibling. Roughly 1 trillion times more painful. What cuisine do you find highly overrated? High-end cupcakes. I understand this one just because in general I don't like cupcakes too much because the frosting is just is too much. Gold-flaked cuisine. Overpriced, doesn't taste any different, and you're just dumb for buying it. Oh, I forgot. Whatever that Salt Bae guy peddles. Okay, like, is he actually, like, up to no good? I, like, do not know anything about this guy. Social media-oriented cuisine. Like those milkshakes where they spread chocolate outside the glass. The only point of doing that is looking better on Instagram since it objectively worsens the product. I've been scrolling for a while and no one has actually named a cuisine. Yeah, like kids. That's not me saying no, kids are not the cuisine. It's like kids cuisine. You'll get it if you go to the store. Anything that's depicted in commercials that has people rolling their eyes as they eat it. TikTok style recipes that have the creator doing a massive eye roll at the end always F me right the F off. Do all this people understand that the cupcake is a baked product and not cuisine? This entire thread is 99% posts about particular foods, not cuisines that people dislike. See, people just don't know how to follow the rules of a question. It's ridiculous. None of them. I'm pretty much a human garbage disposal and need my 3,000 plus daily calories to break even. Since we're on the topic of food, I am feeling a little hungry, so I guess I'm gonna go now. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this video. My name has been Brandon, and I will talk to you another day. Or Mason will, who knows? Bye-bye!